Hey guys, happy Homebrew Wednesday for September 18th, 2013. Got a couple things to go over this week, but first I'd like to have myself a nice refreshing homebrew. Now this is a bottle of the apple cider, or the hard apple cider, that I made during my video about a month ago, month and a half. It has been sitting for 30 days. I put it in the refrigerator last night to get it down nice and cold, and today we're going to taste it. Now, I've said on previous Homebrew Wednesdays I don't usually carbonate my apple ciders, and I'm not really sure how carbonated this is going to be. For a couple of reasons. I mean, one, I keg all of my beers now, but even when I was bottling, I never bottle prime my beers. I always batch primed my beers. And anybody who's into home brewing knows batch priming is simply 5 ounces or 3/4 cup of dextrose, corn sugar, or really any kind of sugar actually, dissolved in water, tossed into the bottom of a bucket, then you rack your beer on top of it and bottle it straight away. So I wasn't really sure how much sugar to use in this one, and I put in half a teaspoon, so let's give it a shot, see how carbonated it is. No, alright, got a slight hiss to it. No, well, no foamy head, but it is carbonated. Definitely see carbonation bubbles rising. Not anything outlandish like Budweiser or Miller Genuine Draft, but it's carbonated. Oh, it smells like apple. I mean, obviously it's apple cider. So, let's see what carbonated cider tastes like. Well, carbonation really does do something for the mouthfeel. It's sour, but it's not bitter. There's residual sweetness left over. Definitely tastes like apples, but honestly, if I didn't know that I made this from the cheapest frozen apple juice concentrate I could find in the store, I'd probably say it was made with those sour apples, you know, the green kind. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, it's actually it's pretty good carbonated. I might do a 5-gallon batch of this and throw it in one of my kegs for around Halloween. So, oh, and it's 8.5% alcohol. So, cheers, guys. Okay. Let's see. During last week's Homebrew Wednesday video, I stated that my elderberry wine was finished, but I was having problems coming up with a name for it, and I asked my subscribers for suggestions, and one of them came through. He suggested Autumn Fall, and I thought that was actually pretty good, you know, like a play on word, Autumn Falls, kind of like, you know, meaning the onset of fall. And then I decided to run with the idea, and we'll jump to this clip real quick, and I'll give you, let you guys see what it looks like. Alright guys, this is what my new wine labels look like. I dug through my computer, I found a picture of a waterfall, I logged into beerlabelizer.com, uploaded it onto one of their labels. The name Autumn Falls is on the bottom, and if you look up at the top it says Elderberry Wine, care of Cheshire Homebrews. I mean, come on guys, you gotta give credit where credit is due, and I wouldn't have such a cool looking label without his help, so Cheers to you, mate. And if anybody isn't already subscribed to Cheshire Homebrew, he's a decent fellow, fellow brew tuber over there in the UK. Check out his channel, watch his videos. By all means, subscribe if you like what you see. Alright guys, so sticking with the theme of giving credit where credit is due, I had two people give me a shout out last week, which was like, completely unbelievable. The first guy who did it, I really wasn't believing what I was seeing, so I had to like rewind that part of his video like 4 times till it finally sank in. But again, to give credit where credit is due, I gave me a shout out. I'm going to give one back to you. The first guy who did that, his YouTube name is Tube Dinos. I think his name is Dean. He's all the way over there in New Zealand, and he's a fellow brew tuber. So check out his channel, watch his videos, and subscribe if you like. Alright, be sure to leave lots of comments because we all love comments. At least I know I do. 3 days later, I got another shout out from a brew tuber a little closer to me. He's actually here in the States, and his name is Jason Davies. So, Tube Dinos, Jason Davies. Cheers, guys. A couple of other things I've been up to. The Drunken Bastard bar build will continue this coming weekend, as promised. How much of it I'm going to get done depends on how much leeway Mrs. Brewing with Bill gives me with the checking account this week. I will at least get the floor and maybe 1 or 2 walls put up. I can deal with not having the walls right now. I mean, honestly, I can put down the floor and build the bar. Actually, I think the bar is more important than even the floor. But you have to start someplace, so I'll put in the floor, then I'll build the bar, and we'll worry about the walls later. Let's see. I've decided I'm not going to do any more all-grain brews until the bar build is finished, and then I'm going to upgrade to one of those like outdoor propane burners. Sorry about that, guys. I was outside and I was in the middle of a sentence when the battery died. Damn things just don't last as long as they're advertised. So I had to pack everything up, move it into the house, and plug the camera in. But as I was saying, I'm going to get one of those outdoor propane burners. I'm thinking 75,000 BTU should be more than sufficient. Although at that kind of heat output, I'd probably have to mortgage one of the kids to pay for the propane. The only good thing about it is 70,000 BTUs at 60 degrees starting temperature will boil 5 gallons of wort in about 12 minutes. So, I mean, with that kind of efficiency, I should be able to at least cut some time off my 6.5-hour all-grain brew days. Another thing I have going on, I decided to give a turbo yeast a second try. Now, I used a turbo yeast once before, and it didn't work out that great. I don't know if the labels was misleading or I didn't read it right. The instructions on the label said put 18 pounds of sugar and 5 gallons of water, so I dissolved 18 pounds of sugar. I filled my fermenting bucket up to the 5 US gallon mark. I pitched the yeast, and what it turned out to be was very alcoholic, and it still had so much sugar left in it that if you were to drink maybe more than a shot of this stuff, it would probably make you sick. I ended up dumping the whole thing out, but last weekend I got a different type of turbo yeast, and the instructions said for an 18% wash to add 18 pounds of sugar and 5 gallons of water, and then in little parentheses it said for a total volume of 6.5 gallons. And I guess that makes sense. I guess the instructions were saying on the first pack of yeast I used was add the sugar to 5 gallons of water. Initial volume, not total volume. And something else to keep in mind, 18 pounds of sugar and 5 gallons of water will give you a volume of 6.5 US gallons. Now the instructions said to heat the water up to 100 degrees, pour the turbo yeast in and stir it for a minute. I heated the water up to 90 degrees, which was a little cool, I'll admit. But I stirred it in using the paint stir attachment I used to degas my wines, and I stirred it for 5 minutes. And I didn't add anything else to it, and fermentation started literally only like 30 minutes after I pitched the yeast. It was going like full blast 2 hours after I pitched the yeast, and the very next day the airlock was going absolutely spastic. I mean, completely mental. It was the fermentation was like so violent, I was actually considering pulling the airlock off of the fermenting bucket, just so I won't have any problems with it. That's been sitting for 4 days. I'm going to let it ferment another 2 days. I'll take a hydrometer reading out of it, and if it's 1.00 or less and I can't taste any more sugar in it, then I'm going to degas it. I'm going to clear it just like I do my wines. I'm going to make a bunch of wine coolers out of it, strawberry, banana, cherry, grape, lemon, lime, maybe pink lemonade. And if I have time, I'll get that on video, and if I don't, well, naturally I'll do a review of how the wine coolers taste. One more thing, guys. Even though I said I'm not going to do any more all grain beers until my bar build project is completed, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to brew any beer. I do kits as well as all grain, just because they're easy. I mean, you can throw down a Cooper's or a Muntons kit beer in a half an hour, and that's with cleaning and sanitizing all your equipment. You still got time to take the kids to the arcade on a Saturday afternoon, and I will be doing those until the bar is done and I get my outdoor burner. And once that arrives in the mail and I have it all set up, I'll bring you guys along for another all grain brew day. And well, in closing, I'd like to say thank you to all of my recent subscribers. And I know the 2 shout outs that I mentioned from 2 Dinos and Jason Davies had a whole lot to do with it. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. And I hope your week this far has been good. I hope the rest of your week is even better. Take care of yourselves, guys. Cheers. 17.